right. Thank you once again for showing up, lending me your ear and your attention and your energy to allow me to listen to what I have to share today. It has been exactly 2 weeks, actually, today since I've been able to share my thoughts here. I had been going through the process of building a new computer in order to have the power and the storage that I needed to help me with not only this podcast and the programs necessary to create it, but also for, my personal work, my artwork and things like that. So it'll take me a minute to get all that situated, but we are here, we are back, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the fact that I have these things, these tools, and for the people that helped me put this together. So couldn't have done it without them. And it is Monday. It is Memorial Day, and I feel it is necessary to express the gratitude that I and the entire United States has for our veterans and their service. So we thank you, veterans, for your service, whatever capacity that might have been. And the ultimate sacrifice was given by many, and we honor them the most for their service to our country and our freedom. And our thoughts go to their families for that sacrifice as well. I know this, I can imagine that this is probably a difficult day for some, and the memories that this day brings. And if that is the case and you do have a difficult day, I encourage you to reach out to somebody that you know that will support you, that has your best interests at heart for you, and share your feelings and share your grief and your pain with them. And you will also be honoring them as well for trusting them with that difficulty of yours. So please reach out if you need somebody to talk to. You can reach out to me too, for that matter. I'd be honored to just hold the space for you there. But anyway, thank you, veterans, for your service. We appreciate you always. And moving into what I wanted to share, kind of goes in line with with what I had shared the previous episodes regarding the self and things like that. And the self is a very, very in-depth conversation, and I'm definitely not going to attempt to get into that today. More than likely, I'll get into something like that with a guest so we can have a conversation around it. And essentially the self is who we are, who we have become based on our experiences and our learnings, and also the things that we have disregarded for ourselves, or I should say discarded, not disregarded. Well, disregarded too, but we are very much who we know that we are, and also who we are not. We have to be confident in who we are and who we are not. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. I was helping her with a logo for a part of her passion, and we were talking about just self-expression. And it got me thinking about self-expression from my own side of the fence, and my artwork and my martial arts. So my physical expression in my art medium, and then also my my physical expression from a martial art perspective. And it got me thinking about how important that really is, and where that comes from, and how it cannot be denied. If it's something that was given to you by God, by the universe, however you want to look at it, it is always going to be there. And if you do not embrace it over time, and you don't recognize it over time, it will at first just be whispers to tell you to, hey, check this out. You got to keep on this path. And then if you consistently ignore it, it will eventually just slap you in the face and say, hey, this is you. This is a part of you. This is part of your soul. We have given this to you in order to express this and serve others and yourself. Because when you are in that moment of time of self-expression, whether it's art or dance or singing, painting, writing, anything, when you're in that moment, those minutes seem like hours. And this is a very, very good indicator of how you know that you are in that place of joy and bliss, and how you know that is part of your soul when you are doing that self-expression. And others will recognize it as well. Others will tell you it's amazing, you have a talent, and they will tell you that they are grateful for you. And those are people that you should listen to. And your self-expression has the power to change someone's life in however that might mean for them. And it has the power to create an awakening in somebody else as well, by recognizing your skills and your passion. It can open their eyes and say, wow, I recognize that. And it'll make them feel that for themselves, if that makes sense. And so the self-expression is very much your mind, body, and your soul, right? Those three pillars that were talked about in one of the older episodes here, and that you'll hear everywhere else as well. And I believe, and again, whatever you believe, I will honor that as well. However, I believe that skill or that self-expression that you have been given comes from a past life. It comes from a previous time where maybe that expression and maybe that piece of you was not able to be expressed the way it needed to be, or it needs to be expressed more. That's why it was given to you, so you can be the vessel for that. So it's very important to just listen to that. And I've been guilty of it for many, many years. Art has been a large part of my soul and my history, for my family, and probably even further back than I even realize. And I was always just off and on with it, and honestly, that even though I've been on and off with it, that skill has never truly diminished. It hasn't perished at all, to be honest. I feel like I could pick it right back up, and at any point I wanted to, and I do. And this podcast is part of that expression as well. So again, thank you for being here and allowing me the space to share that expression with you. So it's very important, and I don't have kids, but I can see the importance of allowing that expression for our children, so they can find that early on in their life, those things that bring them joy and bliss, and that's all they want to do. And like I said, even as an adult, it's still going to be there for you. So if you're an adult right now and you feel like you might not have that joy and bliss that I'm talking about, think back to a time where maybe you were younger and a kid, and what you enjoyed doing. Something that makes you happy. And it might have been repressed for so long now that you might have to take some time to uncover it and figure it out again for it to show its face. But it's still there. It's still there. And so I feel like it's just very important, because it's very important for me. And it's part of everyone. Everyone has that piece of them that they need to express. So it's kind of all I wanted to touch on. And again, I know we'll have some people on, and we'll get further into the depths of what is the self and its pieces, because everyone has their own take on it, whether you're looking at it from a spiritual sense or a psychological sense, different age range, that kind of thing. So anyway, also, again, thank you, veterans. We're grateful for you and your service, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you.